The largest wine country in the world stretches along the north shores of the Mediterranean Sea. Languedoc-Roussillon is the region spanning from the city of Toulouse to Montpellier. Here, wine growers plant grapes on a land of 223,000 hectares. The grape vines in this area grow in the humid and mild Mediterranean climate, soaking the sun of the long days and cooling down during the night time, soft breeze from the Mediterranean, giving abundant fruit. Here, the summer is hot, the spring and autumn are warm, and the winter is cool but sunny, without frost and precipitation, snowing rarely. Tramontane and Mistral breezes keep the fruit always dry. Hence, the vines are strong with humidity compared to the northern and other humid climate vines. Languedoc is located north of Pyrenees Mountains and in the valley of the south side from the Cevennes Mountains. The soil of this region consists of gravel, sandstone, calcium-rich limestone, and clay. The soil has many colors and mixtures. Languedoc is the largest wine-growing region in France because the conditions for growing wine are nearly perfect.
So I'm an enologist here, so my job is to transform all the grapes we've got from our vineyard in a good bottle for our consumers. Mm-hmm. So my job is to express our wine in bottles.
Interesting, you said to express our wine in bottles. Yeah. That should be not easy because wine, you grow it first, you take care of it, right? Mm-hmm. After a process and through very delicate technology, you bring that good wine. What makes, other than technology, of course, you have fantastic technology. What makes else good wine?
It's our area. The terroir here is a climate that is really well temperate by the Mediterranean Sea. It means that we have good sun exposition. We have relative cold night because of this fresh climate from the sea, and a small and permanent wind that can make the health of the vine particularly good. So it's all of this environment plus the way we are working here in our vine that makes, I'm sure, our vine different. That's the way we are working here. We are using our climate, our area, and we are talking of balance in vine, not in production. It's more on how the grapes are growing. So that's our vision of the vine.
Red wine. Red wine in the south of France is bright, full-bodied, without precipitation. Red wine is made from 3 traditional types of grapes, including Grenache, Shiraz, and Mourvedre. Each type has a unique property. Grenache, spicy, bright red, quick to acidify. Shiraz, darker, red, fruity. Mourvedre, sour taste and color that remains longer on the palate. White wine is made of grapes such as a Pipole, Grenache Blanc, and Viognier. Rose wine is made with the same grapes as red wine. Languedoc rose wine is known for its fresh and fruity taste. Sparkling wine. Local masters say that the famous Cremant de la Mort sparkling wine was made before Champagne. The sparkling wines of South France are considered to be of good price compared to its quality. Sweet wine. One of the most famous brands from the region is AOC Muscat, bright-colored, deeply fragrant wine. the grapes are Muscat are relatively smaller in size. The wines from this region are certified by the trademark AOC and classified under Cru du Languedoc or Grand Vin du Languedoc. The largest economic sector in the Languedoc-Roussillon district is wine cultivation. 2,500 wine producers certified by IGP and 400 transportation companies conduct their business here. This region also supplies 5% of world wine and produces 1 in every 3 bottles of French wine. It produces more wine than the countries Chile, Australia, and South Africa. What is the specific of this area compared with other part of France?
I think Languedoc is the more young area in wine because the quality of wine since 50 years start to become the main and the most important thing in this area. Before, the wine that was produced here was more for volume, for more cheaper kind of wine.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes now 50 years that everybody wants to make the best wine they can. So it's a kind of revolution. We are without any complex because it's new. So we can do a lot of different things. We can have good ideas. We can, we can change a little bit the way of seeing winemaking.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this area is really special.
Domaine de la Baume, in the heart of Languedoc-Roussillon district, between Béziers and the medieval city of Pézenas, is located a village by the name Savang, home to the Domaine de la Baume. While the castle of Bordeaux are called Chateau, in other places, for example Burgundy and Languedoc, they are called Domaine. If chateaux have strict rules to produce wines from the grapes harvested from their own vineyards, the domains are permitted to combine different varieties of grapes from other territories. The Domaine de la Baume has been producing wines with unique fragrance and flavors based on the extensive research on traditional methods of over 100 years of wine making. The domain is surrounded by beautiful nature and it's considered a paradise of inspiration and peace. The wine absorbs the warmth of the southern French sun and the people's love for the land. When we arrive by the narrow lane that leads to this domain, we come to a majestic black gate with the first owner's golden initials J and P placed on the top. In 1880, Jean Prat successfully cultivated his famous and high-quality wines with his sons, and after replanting the 100 hectares of vineyards with new vines, in 1919 he opened the Domaine de la Baume wine specialty boutique in the famous Haussmann Street of Paris and became the pioneer in the wine world. In 1990, an Australian man named Hardy bought this domain and brought a new grape wine from his home country to recultivate the land and renovated the castle of the domain. He introduced a new flavor and fragrance to the wine by introducing a technology of nighttime harvest while the vines are resting. In 2003, this domain was bought by the owner of the French wine company La Grande Chaux de France, Group Joseph Helfrich, and the wine started to sell on the international market. Since then, the domaine de Le Baume's wines that combine tradition and innovation continue to make famous the southern French wines in the world. Today, the domain has 216 hectares of vineyards of its own. It grows up to 10 different varieties of Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Viognier, Roussanne, Grenache, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Petit Verdot, and Pinot Noir grapes. The Domaine de la Baume has been recognized as one of the world's best wines, as it has been winning many medals and awards in the past years. In 2010, their Syrah grape won a gold medal at the 2017 Chardonnay medal competition. In 2016, they won the gold medal for the Viognier grape at the Grand Vin de Languedoc competition.
Yes, for sure, because wine is a cultural part of France, and it's really completely integrated in French economy. We have a country of agriculture, and wine is a big part of agriculture in France.
For in the quantity terms, is it because also it comes probably with tourism as well here. Locally, how much locally La Baume is accepted on French Riviera? Do they buy a lot here?
Yes. Our cellar door works with a lot of restaurants and a lot of other cellar door in the area. We have good sales every year. It's better.
This area you supply from here direct.
Yeah.
So you are receiving also the order from customer. I see. So finally, you're from this area, right? Yourself.
Yeah. I am from this area.
This name, Le Baume. La Baume. I understand it's a river.
Yeah, it's a kind of small river, and the river that crosses the domain, the name is La Baume. All the small river like this.
And with this name, the local wine was made on way since 1982, about 140 years almost ago. And it was that time this wine, La Baume, was sold in France, in Paris. It's called France, in Paris. And nowadays it has a new volume, new products since 2003. So how many products you do?
So we have a different range, but the Domaine La Baume range, it's 8 different wine. So we have 3 white wine and 4 reds and rosé. And after that we have our premiums named Elite d'Or and Terre de la Baume, where we've got 1 white and 1 red for each.
So total 2 million bottles, 2 million bottles a year of that product goes all around the world.
Yes.
And I was told some plus 73 or so countries are receiving that product. What is the general reaction of the product from abroad?
So what we are doing here, it's not wine from south of France, it's wine from La Baume. So what we are doing, it's the best Sauvignon we can have here, the best Chardonnay we can have here, the best Viognier. It's the same for all the variety. So I think what people feel and what they feel when they are tasting our wine, it's okay, this is a Sauvignon. This is a Sauvignon, and after, this is from south of France. Okay, what we are doing is to express the variety the best as we can.
Time is changing, demand is changing, and production is adapting.
Exactly.
Wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was really good to you.
Thank you. In this film, from the Travels Through the World of Wine series, we talked about the wines from the southern French region, Languedoc-Roussillon, and showed how wine is made in the famous Domaine de la Beaume.